Okay, I want to do the other tests. You saw that we had basically the one side seemed to be working functionally in terms of the ballast, the bulbs, the harness, the high beams, all that. And then you remember we had this side here, which only had the ballast, the bulbs work, and under low beams. But then when we put it under high beams, the ballast and bulbs didn't light, and that is indicative of this relay controller here being problematic. So again, we're going to replace this obviously, but I want to do a second test because you said that you were blowing fuses, I think, every time on the passenger side. So what I've done, and this is going to be a complicated mess over here, but essentially what I've done is I've rigged it up so I've still got that same test lead that I had before. That's coming through down here into your relay controller. The controller is powering out back through here. And now what I've done is I've tossed in a relay harness. So if this were in your car, this would be connected to the battery and all that. So then the relay controller powers this harness, triggers the harness. The harness gets power from the battery, puts it out to this here, to the ballast, pretty much. That's more or less how it works. And I lost my connection. Shoot. Let me fix that. Okay, there we go. All right, so anyway, in theory, the reason I did this, I hooked it up to this harness, is because this harness is fused. It's got a 25 amp fuse in there right now. So in theory, we should be able to just run down the fuses. I got some 15 and 10 amps over here that we could throw in. So I'm just going to see if this is going to blow a fuse every time or not. So we shall see. It's a 25 amp fuse. Again, this is the side that you said was blowing fuses, so this seems to work under a 25 amp. Let it warm up for a second. All right, good enough. So let's wiggle this fuse out. So I'm gonna set this down. My head's in there. There we go. All right, let's toss in. This is the 15 amp right here. Let's see how this does. Let's make sure it's complete. That's the piece. Okay. So here is a 15 amp fuse. So I'll get this in one hand. Seems to work with the 15 amp. No problem there. Give it just a moment to warm up. Okay. So set this down again. We'll go down to the 10. See how the 10 does. There we go. Here's the 10 amp fuse. It seems to work. So that's on one side. Okay. This is the passenger side. I'm going to set this phone down for a minute. I'm going to disconnect a bunch of stuff over here. So that we can test. Okay, get this out of the way. Pull this up. It's connected. What else needs to be connected here? Sorry about this. I just need to change my connections. So this one will trigger this. This will trigger this. Okay. This should be everything, although my connections fell out, so I'll have to hook them back up here. Okay. Here we are on the. Oh shoot, that's not gonna stay. I'm sorry, man. This is taking a minute. It's a bench setup. I usually don't have this weird of a setup to do these kinds of things. Everything's giving me a hard time. Maybe this will work. There we go. All right, let's try this now. So we got our. There we go. Sorry, I get this one connection is hard to keep on here. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm just gonna set this down here. Like this. I'll connect it by hand. There we go. Let's hold these up and show my hand. 1, 2, 3. So this is the 10 amp fuse. This is on the other side. So that one appears to work as well. So I don't know why you're blowing fuses either, to be honest. So anyway, there you go. There's the tests on everything. We'll talk about it a little more. All right, thanks.